Hello, everybody. Hopefully, everybody's having a wonderful day. I am just going to make another video here for you guys, just to share with you some insights of what I've been finding on these charts. And this is one of the I can't even talk, rundown system charts that I have here called the Pick 3 Rundown System, which I use three put together charts. Here's one chart, here's another one, here's another one. So these are all different type of charts, right? And most people like to use several different type of charts rundowns to play the pick three. So within this side and within this system here, I mean, I have literally like the most popular ones that most people use, right? So but I'm going to share with you on something here that is really interesting that I've been messing with and trying to solve some problems, really just solve some ideas and stuff like that. So maybe this will give you more better insight. So what I've done is I have built in this system, we have a story system that a lot of people like to use. And for me, I like to try to think outside the box more than just looking at different charts. So this is the system that I have. But what I want to do is I'm going to do something different here. So what I've been looking at is I'm in Arizona, so I do a lot of Arizona analyzing numbers, and I use a lot of Pick3 from the Lottery Post website, which they have all the upcoming numbers and everything else. And last night, I literally shot myself in the foot. Okay, so so there's this chart I've been using, and what's crazy is I wrote down the other night. So right now it's Thursday. So this is Tuesday night. So I was up late and I was just looking at analyzing some numbers. So there's four numbers that I chose. And when I was doing that, and last night I sent a message to my daughter about it, and she was like, "Hey, I mean, check this out. These are the numbers I supposed to play and buy, but I didn't have a time. I didn't have a chance to literally get the tickets. So there's four numbers I played on Wednesday night. These are the numbers I chose: 716, 721, 244, and 124. So these were my numbers that I selected. And I have it on my computer. I sent her a screenshot and everything else. And I told her, I said, these are the numbers I supposed to play, which I didn't have a chance to buy the tickets. And guess what? Look at this. 244 was the main number that came through last night. And I was so mad about it. I was like, oh man, I had it straight. I didn't buy the tickets. I was so, but the way I found that was I was using the chart, the 317 chart, right? So the number I was using was the 817. So this is the 817 chart or the 817 number. So the way I've done it was I put 817 here, 362, 362, and from there, what I do is I always bring this number then to this box here, right? So that I put down 293, 748. 748. All right, so it brings down the box here. So from here, let me grab the 317 information here. So let's see, 317 is here. So I took this whole thing apart just to make things a lot quicker. So 317's here. So what I do is I take the 7 here and I find the 317 all around the box. So that's what I put. So this is what I put. So there's 317 here, right? There's 317 this way, and then 317 is this way, right? So that's what I put. And then, so that's how I highlighted everything else. And when I chose my numbers, I chose it based off of this 317, how I block the 317 out and wherever 317 appears with the next number. So that's what I did, right? So when I done that, I chose the 716 number here. So 716, so I chose this number. You see it? So I'll make it yellow or make it red. So that's where I chose a 716. And then I chose a 721, which is 721 is this way. And I chose that number, which went that way, right? And then I chose the 1, 2, 4, which is going straight, and I chose that number too. And then I chose the 2, 4, 4, 2, 4, 4, all around here. So I chose all those numbers. So those were my four numbers I chose. And 244 is what came out on this from this chart itself. And I was so mad about it. I was like, oh, wow. I had the numbers. I had literally straight number two. I had it exactly the way I just typed it out. So it was kind of brutal, brutal evening for me, but they happens, you know. Sometimes, if, like they always say, if you don't play, you don't win. So that's literally what happened to me. So, but that's what I'm going to share with you today. Is just really help you guys understand how I'm playing these charts. And the thing about it is, like I said, the 817 as well that's the way I played it. But I chose the 817 three digits correctly. But I chose 178 versus the 817, and it was based off of the 898. So, so this is consistent, you know, back to back. And tonight's number, I already have that down as well. I don't know. You can probably check back on this video tomorrow and see if if you if those numbers came out correctly. But the number I'm playing for tonight, I have four numbers here, which is 995, 955. I have 993, and then I have a 953. So those are the four numbers I'm playing, but I did add four more on top of it. But the four more I added was the more of the mirroring numbers of the 244, right? So I did add the 799. I did add a 942, and I have a 947. So those are the numbers I chose as well. So I didn't add those, but that's how I played them. But yeah, so that's I was so upset about it. I was like, man, I had the red numbers. Anyways, I want to share with you something real quick though. So when you play these numbers, you know, when you play these numbers, any type of numbers that comes up, and what I was like analyzing before I got on this video was analyzing, like, let's say for an example, let's say I was analyzing a double digit number here. I think it was either an 88 number. Let me find it and see if I can find it again. Um, that was a double digit that came back to just a random number I was playing. Let's see. Now I can't find the number what I was using to analyze this, but we can just go off a fly and just randomly choose another number here. I'm just trying to remember what, but I know it's like an 88 number, either an 88 number or some double number that turned into a single digit number. Okay. But the way I was thinking about it is when you play numbers, when you play numbers, it's really like the last two numbers of each number is where the chart would fit in, where the numbers would play, right? So where the next number would come from. And I was like just poking at numbers here just to find out what number would play next and what number would appear. So I chose a number here that I'm trying to find. And that was kind of a really interesting. Yeah, I can't find the number when I was playing, but there was a 159 or 951 or something that came up afterwards. Let's see. It was a double digit, but it was also turned into a 195 or 591. Yeah, I can't see it. But let's try. I'll share with you something here. So let's find the double digits that are in the second pair. So do you see any numbers that are in the second pair? Second pair of numbers. Mm, Second pair, second pair. Let's try this one. All right. So 733, right? So if you look at 111 rundown, right? So when you do 111 rundown, 111, right? So when you do a 111 rundown, all of the numbers appears literally just a straight number, right? 222, 333, 444. So what I do is I take the same number in the same analogy. So I'll put the 733 into, so anytime you see a double like this, right? So anytime you see a pair in the back, play the 111. This is what I came across. So 733, 288. Let's see if this will work at all. I'm just gonna check it out. So let's take that and let's go to, I don't think I wrote down the 111. Nope, I didn't do it. So what we'll do is you'll take that and run this, right? So now you're gonna look for, because this is the 3 is the main number that you'll be looking for. So let's bring this 3 down here. So let's do 511 066. 066. I'm trying to get the threes into this box here. Okay, so there it is. So 333, right? So we'll highlight the 333. So now the next number that's going to be attached to that somehow would be the next number, that next winning number. And check this out. 314 is the next winning number, right? So if I pull the chart back here, 314, 314, boom, 314. So somehow this whole thing is I can't make you can't make this out. I just chose a random number, right? I didn't pick that number. So let's do another one. So let's go with another triple. So let's try this one. 144. Right? So let's do that. So let's put 144, 144, 699, 699, and we're still in the 111 rundown. So now we're going to take this 114 into this blue box here. So that will be a 922 477 477. Now we run that. So now we got to find all the fours in a row or fours attached to it. And let's see if this will even work. So 4, 4, and a 4. See, these are the closest ones together. So we'll make that blue. Okay. So now we're going to bring this chart back here. The next number is 526. So when you put the 526, there it is. 256. And it's all attached to the fours again. Isn't that insane or what? 526. It's really weird in a way where it's like pointing to where the next number is going to go to. Right? So it's literally, I mean, that's where I was like, okay, well, 526 is the next number. So, I mean, I can try another one. Let's look at another one. Let's find another one. So let's go to, let's see if we can find, let's try this one, 344. That goes to 193, right? So we're going to be looking at the 344 this time. So now it is, so let's just change this since the 4 is already here. So the 3s, so that will be a 1. So 1 goes here. Then this will be a 6. This will be a 6. 1, 1 run down. So now it's 344. Okay. So let's see. So now we're looking back again at the 4s. So the 4s here, the 4s here, and the 4s here. So we'll make that all blue again. So there it is. And the next number is 193. Is there 193 wrapped around this? So 1, 3. So 1, 3, but the 9 is way here. 1, 3, 9. 1 is way up here. 9. So this 1, 3 is here. It's here. 1, 9, 3. So this one didn't really work out well. But somehow the 4, 4 is attached to the 9, 3. So if you play the pairs And if you know that it might be the 9, 3, it's 1, 3. This is a 3. So if you put the 9 here, it would have flipped around. So, but it's somehow it's all absorbing the fours, right? So if you were to highlight this box here, how many 1, 3s, and 9s are in this box? 1, 9, 3, 3, 3, 9. This is one is way out. Then it's the 5 4s and everything else. So, but this one kind of didn't work, but in a way it still is there, you know? So that's the 3 4 4 to the 1 9 3. Okay. So that's a 1 1 1 rundown, right? So let's try another one. Let's try 1 4 4. Okay. So we'll go ahead and put the 1 4, put the 1 back here. So that would be a 9 up here. And then a 4, then a 4. Or I put a 9. Okay. So now the 1's back here. So now we got to remove this one. Let's make this back into orange and let's find the number 4 again. So this is like the previous chart here, right? So 144 is down here. So now the next number is 428. Is a 428 absorbing the fours? There's a 4 2. There's a 2 4. 2 4. So this 3 itself could be an 8. You know what I mean? So if you go down here, so 248 is what the next number came up. 428 is what came up as. 4 8. This would have been an 8 here, but this is a 3. These are all the mirrors. Mirrors, mirrors. So if these were 8s, 8s are down here. So yeah, so this one didn't come out straight either. So the 4s somehow does kind of works, and sometimes it looks like it doesn't really work. So let's try another one. But the crazy thing about it is in July, how many 4s came up? Pairs 4s, pairs 4s, pairs 4s, pairs 4s. All right, so 3 times in the backside. So that's pretty interesting too. So let's try another one. Let's try this one. 288. Did we do this one already? 288 to 756. I don't know. We'll try it again. So 288. So we need to bring this down. So that'll be a 066. 511. 511. Okay, so now the 8 is here. So let's make this back to orange. Well, let's highlight this one as blue. So there's all your 8s. The other 8 is way down here. But the 8 down here is right here, right? So then the next number that's going to come up attached to that is going to be 756. Is 756 wrapped around the 8? 765, yeah, right here, going straight down, going this way. See, 765, 765. 765. So all attached to the 8. It's not perfect, but it absorbs the numbers itself, wrapped around everything else. I know it's a 111 rundown, but somehow it's still attached to it. So it's just back of the base, back of the numbers, you know. So that was a 288, right? So that's how it came up as. All right, so let's get out of this one. And okay, let's see if there's another sets that we can use. That 288 came back again here, and it came up as 429 the next round. So 288 again, 429 attached somewhere. Yeah, right here, 429. Still attached to the 8 again. 429. So 888. So always keep in mind too. Look at the mirrors off of the 888s. So if you look at here, the mirrors over here is the 3s. 429, 429, wrapped around both sides. So that's why I have these charts with the mirroring numbers. Okay. So, but that's just keep that in mind as well. Sometimes you get that can be useful. Okay. So, but that's pretty interesting on the ones that I've been analyzing the ones itself. And let's take a look at another one. Let's do one more. And let's try this one. Let's try triple nines. Let's see if this will even work since it's all ones, right? So let's do 999 444 444. So we got to bring the 9 down here. So that will be the sevens up here. 777 222 222. Okay, so we're playing triples. So all the nines are here. Now, is the next day's number is 491. Is 491 attached to this at all? There's a 49449, but the ones are down here. So that didn't work out at all. But that's just the triples, using the triples. But still, I mean, nines and fours, but there's no ones. Ones are all down here. So down didn't work out pretty well either. So, I mean, that's just another idea that you guys can use to see if it's something that could be useful. I mean, it's just another way of playing the pick threes. I mean, I'm going to try this one here real quick and see if anything comes back on the fives. So we're going to highlight all the fives. Let's bring this down. So it's 3, 5, 8, 8, 5, 8, 8. So if you're new to this channel, what I'm doing here is I'm mirroring the numbers. Okay. So the 0 is the 5. Threes are the 8s. See it? So that's how I'm playing. So this is the standard number. That's the 1. This is the mirroring numbers of the winning number. So now this one is a 255, right? So we're going to highlight all the fives here. There's the 5 up there. Where's the other 5 is down here, which is also the 5's down here. So if this chart here is right here, and then this chart here is up here. Okay. So let's see the next day's number on that. So we're going to be seeking all the 5's because the 255, now we're looking for all the 5's because I'm basing off of this number here. And since it's a 111 rundown, all right, so the next day's number that played here was 255, went to 169. Okay, you see it, 169. So 169, is there a 169 attached to the 555? There's a 69 here, but there's no 1. 69, but there's no 1. All the 1's are down here. So this one is harder to break. So, but that's just a 111 rundown. Okay. So you can do it with different type of charts. I mean, if let's say if you wanted to play, let's say if we want to play, I don't know, let's just pick another random number. Let's go back to the single digits. And how about let's try a front pair. How's that? So front pair of 554. So let's try that. So let's still use the 111 rundown. 554 009 009. But now I'm not going to use the 5's, I'm going to use the 4's. So we're going to find all the 4's. So all the 4's are here. See, all the 4's are here. But let's clear this off really quick. Let's make all these back into orange real quick. So these are white. So let's highlight all the 4's. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. Right? So make those blue. I'm just putting it down here, played this part, because all the 4's are here. So the next number that came up on that is 102. 01, see, right here. 102 is off. I mean, it's a little off grid, but it's still attached to a 4. Because the 4, if we were to put it here, that's what it would showed up as 404. 1012, right? Right here, 1012, 012 this way too. Even back this way, 102, 102, and still the fours are down here. So because you go up this way, which is up here, is right here, because all the fours are down here as well. 2, 1, 2, 0. So that's, I mean, that's one of the things. I mean, I'm just trying to analyze certain things here. So it just kind of makes sense that way to narrow down your search. The other way I started playing too is using the average. So let's say I play a number here. Let's try 307. So if I put 307, it's a 370 is the is literally the average. If you add all these up and then divide that by 6 is 370, right? So the winning number on this was 307. So 307 is, I would probably play the 317 chart. 307, 852, 852, and we'll switch this to 317 chart. Now everything is calculated as 317, right? So now I'm going to find the 317, right? So let's bring this down here real quick. Let's put it back in the blue here. So that'll be 783, 238. There we go. So 317 is right here. So we'll make that blue. So the next day's number, 162. Does 162 appear next to the 30317? Yes, it is. 162. 162. 162 this way. Then it goes this way as well. But anywhere you look at 317, here's a 317 this way. There's 62 somewhere attached to it. Yeah, 62 is attached to here. And I still have one here. This 317 is attached to that. So anywhere that plays a 317, where the 317 is at, is where the 612 is going to be at. So 317 is right here, which is attached to 162. It blocks it in, blocks it in. So it's kind of like it's kind of weird. I mean, just the outcome itself. So just find out what chart you're playing, and just average it out. Like if you're playing a 369, right? 369. See all the numbers. These are your main where the numbers will appear next based off of this. So let's say we do that. Let's go to 369 charts. All right, so let's just give an example on this one. And let's find a number that averages the 369 here. So let's choose some numbers. Let's see. Let's try 429. This is probably 912. Oh, this is a 555. I don't think we need it, but let's just base it off at any numbers. We're not gonna search for trying to look for a number. So just let's say a random number. If your favorite chart is 369, let's try. Let's choose one. Let's choose one that's recent. Let's try this one. 937. 937. Yeah, that doesn't look all that. Let's try this one. 125. Okay. But 125 is going to be a 505. So 125. So I'm going to bring the 125 here. So we got to look at 501. Then 056. So we mirror that. Now let's clear this off really quick. So now this number here, this 5, is our anchor. So 125, right? But on this chart here is the 505. Okay. So now we got to find all the 505s. So there's a 5, there's a 0, there's a 5 up here. Let's make those blue. So based off of that, let's see if is the 952 attached to it somehow, because that's the next number that came up, 952. And here it is, 952. Let's see, make this all red. 952, 259. It's attached to the 5, the third digit. And then up here, look, 925 is going straight down, which is attached to the 5 and the 0. 925, there's a 9 here. There's a 5 this way. And there's a 5 this way. And then if you look at this 814, or the 050 is the mirroring number. So all the zeros and all, if you highlight all the zeros and the 5s, it'll give you where all the numbers will be at and what's attached to those 5s. So it looks like the 5 carried, the 2 even carried. Right? If you were just use only this chart here, you probably wouldn't have gotten it. Unless if you were playing it down here, you would have gotten it straight down. Right? So let's do another one. Let's do another one with that does not have the 5s. Let's try. Let's go back up here. I'm gonna pick another random number. Let's try this one. 194. That goes into a double outside pair. So 194. And we're still going to use a 369 chart. Or I'm sorry. This is weird. I was using the 317 chart. Let's go back. Let's go back. Because I was using the 317 chart and somehow it still worked. What was I playing before? I can't go back no more because I already changed it. What was I playing? What was I playing? I don't know. My brain's not working. Okay, so let's try this, the 369. Let's do this one quickly because I have to leave here shortly. So this one is a 194. So 194 in October. Okay, 194 to the 2323. So if I put 194, let's bring that 194 down. That's going to be 576021. So there's 194. So now we're going to come over here and find the 4, which is the 864. Where's the 864? Do you see an 864? There's an 8. There's a 6-4. Right here, 864. Make those blue. Okay, there's a 4 there too. So the next number that came up after that is 323. But this one has a 3-2 and a 2. 3-2. So that's your winning number there. 3-2, but the other 3 is over here. And the other 3, yeah, there's a 3-3-2. But the winning number is 3-3-2-3. But that's based off of the 369 chart. 369 is right here, right in the center. Wherever there's 369, I bet all the 369s are, the 322 is there. 369, 3, 3, 0, 3, 3. Anyways, that should least give us more insight of it. So if you guys have any questions or anything, just reach out. Hopefully this will give you some insights of how I play my charts. So hopefully you guys can get the next win. But these are the numbers I'm playing tonight. So hopefully these come through and see how they come back out. Otherwise, you guys have yourself a wonderful night and take care of yourselves. Be safe. Bye bye.